You ever wonder how the word abomination was used as a tool to gain power and control? Spoiler alert, it was never about queer people, but over centuries, it became a weapon. Growing up, I heard this word hurled at people like me. But when I started digging, I realized this was not about God's judgment. It was about people using the Bible to enforce their own power. So let's trace the word through history, and we can see how the power plays were used by the people in charge in order to bend the meanings to fit their will. All right, so in original Hebrew, toeva meant something culturally taboo. You know, like eating pork or wearing mixed fabrics. The power play here is that the priests would use these taboos to maintain order in early Israelite community. This was not about morality. It was about social cohesion. Then we got 4th century BCE, when Hebrew was translated into Greek, we had toeva changing into bdeligma. And this was about cultural ritual purity. The power play here is that those Greek rulers would incorporate those ideas into their governance, using religious taboos to consolidate their empires. So now we're at 4th century CE, enter the Latin Bible and the word abominatio. The power play here is that as Christianity became the official language of the Roman Empire, the leaders would use the word abominatio to brand their opponents as morally inferior. An effective way to suppress dissent, if I may add. And in the 12th to 15th century in medieval Europe, unfortunately, abomination began being used and tied to the word sodomy, a vague term that encompassed anything non-procreative. This was not about morality, it was about enforcing population growth. The power play here is easy, but the monarchy and the churches both relied on strict social rules to keep their communities thriving. They would target abominable acts as a way to maintain control over bodies and lives. Then you have colonial expansion in the 16th to 18th centuries, and when European empires spread, they exported these ideas. Sodomy laws became tools to control colonized populations. The power play here is that colonizers weaponized religion to erase indigenous cultures, and they used framing their traditions as justification for conquest. Then you have Victorian morality in the 19th century, which we just see the same thing repeated over and over. People in power using religion to manipulate and oppress people not in power. And that leads us right back to the RSV, or the Revised Standard Version, in 1946. Not very long ago. But when they decided to take the words arsenokoitai and malakoi and translate them directly to homosexual, it truly solidified the connection between queerness and abomination in the modern mind. Power play, easy. This was a cultural bias designed as divine truth, giving new fuel to homophobia under the banner of religion. Abomination was never about inherent evil. It was about control, from priests in ancient Israel to colonial rulers to modern politicians. This brings us to one of the most famous stories tied to abomination, Sodom and Gomorrah. For centuries, this story has been used to condemn queer people. But when we really read it, the real lesson is about hospitality and justice. Next, we're going to dive into this misunderstood story and uncover its true meaning. I really hope that you'll check out the rest of the videos on this playlist. There's definitely more to come. Please support from the bottom up. As always, I would love for you to follow and stay rare.